welcome to Your Caribbean News and Culture. I'm Delinda Eiffel. Let's get started with some of the top stories from the Caribbean. Earlier this month, when St. Vincent and the Grenadines cargo vessel Lady Zai left for voyage to Guyana, of the 10 crew members on board the vessel, 1 died and 1 member was hospitalized. The cargo vessel Lady Zai did not make it to Guyana, but instead docked in St. Lucia, where port health authorities instated an immediate quarantine for the remaining crew members on board the vessel in order to keep the local population safe while they worked to figure out the exact cause and nature of the death and illness. Just a few days ago, the quarantine was lifted, and officials from the Maritime Administration Department are working with St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Guyana to further resolve the matter. The government of Barbados is continuing to strategize ways to make for a more stable economy. Minister of Finance Chris Snickler recently had an hourly budget presentation in the House of Assembly, which revealed in part that the Barbadian government is selling the Barbados National Oil Company. Presenting to members of the lower house, Minister Snickler revealed the tentative 20-cent excise increase tax on gasoline, which should reportedly generate an estimated $23 million in revenue for the government. Minister Snickler did not, however, reveal who the buyer of the Barbados National Oil Company would be or when the sale is expected to take place, nor when motorists will begin to be impacted at the pumps. Despite the ongoing chaotic political infrastructure Haiti is facing, the country is still taking necessary steps to rebuild. After a meeting between the members of the Reconstruction Plan, along with members of Modernization and members of the Economic and Social Assistance Fund, critical dialogue later led to signed contracts for building and refurbishing 15 schools in the southeast area of the country. The beginning of the 15-school project was set for March 2014. The Vibes cartel murder trial gets further complicated as prosecutors recently revealed that evidence against juror Livingston Kane, who allegedly tried to bribe other jurors to enter a non-guilty verdict against the Jamaican reggae artist. Livingston Kane allegedly offered hundreds of thousands of dollars and, as a result, is now facing a trial of his own. He has been charged with 5 counts of attempting to pervert the course of justice and 1 count of conspiring to pervert. Vibes Cartel, the reggae artist whom Kane was serving as a juror for, was convicted of murder just a few days ago on March 13th for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams. Now, reggae music has undoubtedly crossed over and has a solid influence and impact in countries and cultures and nations, but is such a crossover beginning to unfold for soca and calypso music? Well, Trinidad and Tobago artist Bunji Garling, alongside his wife Thayan Lyons, performed at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, which is one of the largest music festivals in North America. Attendees of the show, which took place last Thursday, reported that Bunji Garling received the largest ovation of the night and captivated the crowd during the entire performance. Rolling Stone magazine listed the Trinidadian soca artist as one of the top 25 must-see acts for the 2014 South by Southwest Festival. That's all the news we have for you this week, but stay with us. Our Culture Chat is coming up next. You're watching Your Caribbean News and Culture. We'll be back.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Hey, everybody. everybody. Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet! Dang it. Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Kids will spend 57 minutes making me go splat.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back to your Caribbean News and Culture, everyone. This past weekend, I had the great pleasure of attending the Work to Do open mic event, which was held at Lorenz Island Cuisine. The event was hosted by Reggie B and featured poet and singer Selena Johnson, but the entire evening was filled of positive, uplifting, inspiring spoken word from a variety of local poets here in the Boston area. Take a look.
When we poets do what we do, we research our history, we go back and look in the books and find out about our story, then we come to the community and we share it with those that don't know, because long enough, our story has not been told to us, and it's been taken out of the Boston public school system. So for us to come in and do what we do and educate and give a message about our story, about Black history and what really went on, is very powerful and self-rewarding to actually get that message out there to those that lack the knowledge because of the lack of teaching that has been brought about our people. So that's why it's important for Black poetry to get out there and do what it does.
Sometimes these walls seem to carry me when I'm Poetry is important for a lot of reasons. I mean, it gives a voice to those who might not be able to necessarily express themselves, might not be able to put thoughts or words to their thoughts. As a culture, it can move people. It reaches further than you think it will. Honestly, when I write poetry, it's usually something that's been sitting on my heart for a while, like something I've been thinking about, something that might have just been sticking with me. Might be a personal experience, something I see in the world, but usually it's something that takes me a while to like really think through, and I just put my feelings into words. Events like tonight is just opportunities for the community to come together, for people to cross paths and share themselves, and definitely, I mean, the community needs ways to be engaged and things to come out too, for them to hear spoken word and for them to hear other people's words and thoughts. In the creation process, there's a lot of like excitement, like you get excited over your own words, you start to feel your work, and then while you're performing it, it's really just, I mean, the reason why I perform is to just share myself and get everything that I have to give. So there's a lot of excitement that comes with it. Definitely I feel humbled. A lot of times when it's like tonight was a quiet night. I could really tell people were listening. So there's a little feeling of anxiousness. You don't know if people are connecting to you, but you're really trying to touch people. So I feel like it's like a wide range of emotions. Honestly, maybe it's that you feel everything that makes it worthwhile.
No freedom, no voice. No rights, no choice. I've been forever living from behind brass bars, in the windows of the classroom, the jail cell. I went from dress codes to orange jumpsuits, both symbolizing uniformity, taught to conform or be disciplined, Never treated like a human, but like a second-class citizen, trained to sit in silence, silent unless spoken to, or raise hand for permission to speak. Search from within. We can't love the skin that we're in unless we so search for our greatness. This day and age we live in would have us hate ourselves. They infiltrate our minds just to tell us that we should be something else. Someone else is always prettier, so we mold and shape ourselves into these fallacies they feed us. The most strategic starvation of public affirmation. With every meal, there's a girl in the mirror cursing her reflection, looking in the wrong direction for love. Simply stated, I like you. Poetically stated, I like you. In verse, the only way I know to give back, with intention and sensuality intact, without stuttering over my own 2 words and tripping over my feet. I like what I see, and I know there's more where that came from. Your strategic slow motion, noted. 2 poets with such limited conversation, it's like we speak in passing through glimpses and hugs, which is why I'm trying to tell you explicitly that I'm feeling you. If I could touch the sky, I'd risk the fall just to know how it feels to fly. No matter how deep her words cut, life is too short to just bleed. If you're free, never plant your feet into the ground of complacency, because freedom is everything. Jill taught me to live in the moment, to seize every day as if my entire existence depended on it.
My name is Selena Johnson. Thank you guys so much for interviewing me, and I hope to see you soon, maybe.
Spare change, please. Spare prayers, please. Can you please spare some prayers, please? I'm not asking for your ridicule, judgment, or criticism, just for your nickels, dimes, and quarters in place of your hate-filled orders to get off my ass and get a job. Because I had one, right before I lost my house. So don't tell me to go home, because trust me, if I could, I would, but I can't. So instead I'm out here forcing shit through your bias and bullshit, cursing words and twisted looks in place of the spare change that I asked you for, while you effortlessly make me feel lower than I already am sitting on this train station floor. Spare change, please. Spare prayers, please. I can't go home because, ironically, my family loves me too much to see me suffering through this addiction. I can't go home because that book says thou shalt not kill, yet still execution weighs the most in my mind when I think of the nights my father destroyed me from behind, and my mother was too relieved that it wasn't her, but instead me, to do anything about it. I can't go home because they say that's where the heart is, but mine disappeared the same night my wife did. Maybe I can go home, I just don't want to, cause I made a decent living off of caring people, perhaps like you. Spare change, please. Spare prayers, please. I can't go home because somehow homophobia outweighs the love I was raised with, and I refuse to be a victim of their ignorance. I can't go home because I figured out that street corners and make any day okay meds were better business than careless classrooms, and my parents grew tired of having tea parties with slick-suited feds. I can't go home because God chose me to sit out here and try to teach you some compassion and humility. Spare change, please. Spare prayers, please. I can't go home because although some of you civilians seem to forget, I did trade in my mental and financial stability for your red freedom, white justice, and blue liberties. I can't go home because me and my whole family fell through the holes of urban redevelopment and failed public policies. I can't go home because my parents say I'm a rebel without a cause because of my piercings and tattoos, and I say that their unforgiving religion and blindly enforced rules are home because I don't remember how to get there. I can't go home because I don't have one to call my own. So, spare change, please. Spare change, please. Spare prayers, please. Can you please spare some prayers, please?
Completely demoralize you, redefine you. Your only survival is the beast inside you. Animals. Are we still human beings? Cannibals, breeding, killing machines, metallic rust, the cold steel of a gunner. There ain't no trust, just kill one another. What the? Is this really it, I wonder? 7 billion of us, yet I feel we are still numbered.
The name of the piece that I did tonight was entitled Slave Style Cipher. Of course, we all heard of freestyle cipher, but because of the way some of these artists come off on the mic and how they disrespect their elders and their ancestors, they're coming off like slaves.
You are so blind to realize that you are urinating the graves of your forefathers. A milli Africans did not fart and die for your stupidity to emerge. And no, you're far from being tougher than Nigerian hair. Still, you're the corporation's strange fruit. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot lynch.
I'm D-Ruff, and if you can feel it, you can speak it. Of course I came out to support Reggie B and get some great food from Lorenz. I had to eat here. I love eating the cocoa bread and chicken patties and barbecue steak when I can get some. It's always delicious here. I'm sorry, I'm really hungry. So that's really the main reason why I came out, to support Reggie and get some great food and enjoy some great poetry and some acts.
People not wanting to hear any of the spirituals, but they're not loving on women because they're loving these materials. See, in this place, I don't feel safe. With gold chains around my neck and wrist, I'm the new American slave. With rivals amongst my group and with others, but how are we enemies and we're supposed to be brothers? And how are we hitting our women and we're supposed to be lovers? But I guess we stooped down and disgracing our mothers. See, before this, our ancestors were being whipped on their back. Even though that wasn't us, we should still feel that rage from those whips on our back. We should still feel the pain, but the scars are not done. We're like kuntas in our own way, trying to run for freedom, but there is none.
Poetry was innate to me. I started writing, I could read at the age of 3, and I started writing soon after, and it just came natural to me, the way of expressing myself. I did a lot of journals and poems, but poetry came natural for me, and it was a way that I healed from my own personal traumas. It was therapy for me. So whenever I felt a certain way, I would write. Or if I was angry, I would write. So it was a way to positively channel everything that was going on in my life and my own traumas and my own struggles.
My children have mothers whose mindset isn't ready yet to handle them. Prisons are an industry filled with my brothers, and gangster is the coolest thing to be. They don't know my story anymore. What I went through to make it to this present filled with death, eating shit and drinking liquor from various corners. I am beauty. I am grace. They tried to take my dignity and my place. I came from so far in the physical, my spirit broke and formed back over 1,000 times. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. My mind began to eat at my body, hating my skin, then loving it again. It's time to pick up my pieces, spread it among these nations, because I am beauty. I am grace. They can't ever take my dignity, nor my place. Right.
A night like tonight is very important for our community because we have so much talent in Boston that are people of color, and that we need a platform. We need more platforms so that we can be heard. Our talent and our issues and our concerns can be reflected. We can see in other people too that look like us, that are doing things and that are positive. So it's all about positive energy and spreading love and spreading positivity.
My name is Reggie B. I am the host of Work to Do Open Mic, which is located every first Saturday at Art Gallery RS63, which is located in the back of Mr. G's Plaza at 26 Palmer Street, Unit 204A, and I'm out.
All right, Work to Do Open Mic is held on the first Saturday of every month at Gallery PF63 in Roxbury, Mass., and on the third Saturday of each month at Lorenz Island Cuisine in Dorchester, Mass. It's definitely an event worth attending. Now, this Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., also at Lorenz Island Cuisine, there is a casting call for the short film Heaven. Heaven is about a 23-year-old first-generation Jamaican who ended up homeless after her parents moved back to Jamaica, leaving her in Brooklyn, New York to fend for herself as she seeks to obtain the American dream. Those casted will be receiving a generous stipend, so if you're looking for some cash and you love acting and if you speak Patois, it's even better. So from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., definitely check out that casting call. And more news for you all. This Monday, March 24th, Lorenz Island Cuisine, once again, is the place to be. Democratic candidate for governor of Massachusetts, Martha Coakley, will be there from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. as a part of her Community Connections with Martha tour. Check out their Facebook for more information on that. That's all the time we have this week. Thank